Is WDSU News at 5.
First at 5, a boil water advisory for the lower 9th Ward and New Orleans East has been lifted. The Sewerage and Water Board says water sample tests came back clean, so the water is safe to drink and to use. But officials are urging people in the lower 9 and the east to flush their plumbing by turning on the faucet and letting the water run for a few minutes before using it. Our other top story tonight, 3 cases of domestic violence over the weekend, including one case where a man allegedly tried to strangle and drown his ex in her own home. October is Domestic Violence Awareness Month, and WDSU reporter Tammy Eswick joins us live with what you need to know. Tammy.
Juliana, Mayor Latoya Cantrell has said in the past that we are in a domestic violence crisis in the city of New Orleans. She made those comments during a panel discussion right after she got elected.
And it's not just thinking about man versus woman or woman on man, it's the entire family.
In the last few days, New Orleans has seen a rash of these cases. The latest on St. Louis Street. Police say a woman stabbed her boyfriend in the back early Saturday morning. Detectives arrested that woman and charged her with aggravated battery. Police say the incident started as an argument. Investigators also say after an argument, a man tried to strangle and drown his ex-girlfriend in the bathroom at a home on East Hermes Street. The woman did get away. Police arrested that man and charged him with attempted homicide. In another case on Friday on Magic Street, police say after a boyfriend and girlfriend argued, the man left the house and came back and tried to stab her father with a screwdriver. We spoke to a woman who runs a shelter for women. She says there's a lot of tension in the air.
Well, some of it may be money, but a lot of it, people don't have time for each other because one is going one place and the other one is going another place. And usually when the home is like that, that gives the person the okay that he can get out here and find somebody else to spend more time with.
Now, Jackson believes ultimately praying will help, but she says you do have to get yourself out of a situation where you and that other person are arguing and aren't doing so well. Live in New Orleans, Tammy Eswick, WDSU News.
Tammy, thanks. And domestic violence isn't just an issue here in New Orleans, but across the nation. Recent data shows 3 women are murdered every day by a current or former male partner. According to the Huffington Post, every 9 seconds a woman is assaulted or beaten in the U.S. And it's reported domestic violence is the 3rd leading cause of homelessness among families. And domestic violence impacts both women and men. If you are in an abusive relationship, there is help. You can call the National Domestic Violence Hotline at 1-800-799-SAFE. Proof that our first responders are always working to keep us safe. A vacant home caught fire this morning on Franklin Avenue, and luckily an off-duty firefighter who was driving home from work spotted it and called it in. The fire caused a lot of damage at that home just a few feet away from the Burger King there. The flames spread to a trailer and damaged cars at a nearby auto repair shop before firefighters were able to extinguish it. No one was hurt, but again, this home was vacant, so right now officials are working to figure out how that fire started. And what a difference 24 hours can make. You heard yesterday meteorologist Daniel Graves mentioned the humidity was moving out. We were going to feel those fall temperatures today, and they are here. Let's head over to Daniel now with a look at that forecast.
Yeah, quite a difference we saw yesterday where it was warm and humid with some rain. Now today, lots of sunshine and more comfortable weather as you've been outside today. Those temperatures are feeling nice across southeast Louisiana and coastal Mississippi. It's 69 right now in Biloxi. Otherwise, you're seeing low 70s across southeast Louisiana, so a pretty enjoyable day. From 24 hours ago, Belle Chase 13 degrees cooler, 6 to 8 degrees cooler for many areas. But if you've also been outside, you've noticed it's been kind of breezy. Those winds are out of the north, so it is bringing in that cooler and drier air, but it's kind of gusty, 10 to up to 13 miles per hour over at the lakefront. So nice weather for us this evening, but I want you to notice there is some cloud cover trying to move into our area. That may help keep temperatures. They are still going to drop tonight, but they may not drop as much as they could if it was a clear sky overnight. We'll continue to see temperatures dropping into the 60s by midnight on the North Shore. Will already be into the 50s. So as you're heading out the door in the morning, Definitely going to need to grab that jacket, especially on the North Shore, where lows could be in the 40s, elsewhere in the 50s, comfortable by the afternoon. Rain chances, though, will start to increase the rest of the week. We'll talk more about that coming up in just a bit.
All right, Daniel, thanks. New developments on a deadly shooting on Carondelet Street Friday night. Police have arrested the suspect, this man, DeCarlo Carter. Carter is accused of shooting a man in the 100 block of Carondelet Friday night. The victim died at the scene. His identity has not been released. A New Orleans man under arrest today after police say he shot his own brother. Police say Mark Milton got into a fight with his brother around 12:45 this morning on North Villeray. The argument turned physical, and police say Milton shot his brother in the stomach. The victim was taken to the hospital. No word on his condition. Milton was arrested and charged with aggravated battery. After a scabies scare last Wednesday, we now know students at Benjamin Franklin School will return to class tomorrow. Officials closed the Nashville Avenue campus due to a possible exposure to scabies in one of its classrooms. Crews sanitized the building during that closure. Again, the school will reopen tomorrow. Also happening tomorrow, the Sewage and Water Board will start patching up thousands of potholes across the city. It's part of the agency's plan to get rid of the 4,000 pothole backlog on our streets right now. Many of the potholes have already been filled with gravel. The Sewage and Water Board will begin paving them tomorrow. At least 30 people are injured after that floor collapsed during a party at a Clemson, South Carolina apartment. That apartment complex is about 3 miles northeast of Clemson University. The party took place on homecoming weekend. Kim Mutcherson has the latest.
A dance party suddenly turned into a scene out of a horror movie. The floor underneath giving way, swallowing dozens of people dancing.
And I saw 60 people just fall straight through the floor. It's just crazy how that happened. I saw people with holding their arms, and I saw people with bloody legs and stuff like that.
The celebration took place at an apartment clubhouse about 3 miles from Clemson University. Authorities say at least 30 people were sent to hospitals with broken bones and lacerations.
It could have been a whole lot worse. There could have been entrapments. There could have been deaths involved.
It's unclear what caused a huge chunk of the floor to collapse, but cell phone video shows a large crowd of people dancing and jumping right before the floor opens up, and they sink and spiral down a gaping hole. Witnesses say the injured fell about 15 feet.
You hear the floor about to go through kinda. And it just nobody really thought it was gonna happen. They just kept going.
The party happened on Clemson University's homecoming weekend. Authorities are still investigating the incident. I'm Kim Hutcherson reporting.
Jacksonville police say 6 people were shot at a laundromat today just a half-mile away from the Jaguars Stadium. 3 are in critical condition. At this time, no arrests have been made. Some witnesses say it appeared to be a drive-by shooting. And coming up next at 5, thousands of migrants taking the long journey from Honduras to seek asylum in the U.S. What their president is saying to convince them to come back home. Plus, a missing journalist confirmed dead in Turkey, but several U.S. officials are not buying the Saudi Arabian government's story about the death.
It's just not a credible story for somebody to walk in with 15 other people and get into a fist fight and lose their life.